should replace Trevor Noah as the Daily Show host. Trevor Noah's last show as the host of the Daily Show was on December 8th, and since that time there have been 13 people who have guest hosted the show. Is that enough of a sample size to identify a clear frontrunner for the permanent replacement? Here's what we can learn from the ratings, social media data, and financial considerations. Insight number 1. There are two entirely different audiences for The Daily Show. According to The Wrap, Al Franken was the guest host with the best ratings so far, getting 792,000 total average viewers during his week. In comparison, John Leguizamo had the second best ratings with 633,000 total average viewers. It's probably not a coincidence that Franken, who is 71, and Leguizamo, who is 62, also rank 1-2 in being the oldest Daily Show guest hosts. However, by several key social media metrics, Franken was the guest host who performed the worst. The Daily Show averages less engagements on posts featuring Franken than on posts featuring any other Daily Show guest host. And during the work week he hosted, Franken gained far fewer new followers on social media than any other guest host. Al Franken is a big draw, but for a completely different audience than follows the Daily Show on social media. If made the permanent host, he'd bring in an older skewing audience that still watches cable and would likely deliver the best linear ratings. However, it's hard to imagine Comedy Central offering him the job if he can't grow the show on social media. And it wouldn't be the first time social media cost him a job. Insight number 2, Hasan Minhaj performs the best on social. Between January 1st and April 28, 2023, there were 66 social media posts by The Daily Show that mentioned Hasan Minhaj, with those posts averaging over 46,000 engagements and over 565,000 video views. That's by far the best performance by a guest host on social media, making the former Daily Show correspondent Patriot host a clear frontrunner. Meanwhile, The Daily Show got the second highest number of average engagements for posts featuring John Leguizamo and the second highest number of video views for posts featuring Chelsea Handler. Now, that's the group of stars that would help the show the most on social media if made permanent host. That said, while Hasan Minhaj looks like a great candidate on paper, much like Al Franken, he might not create the best work environment for women. In 2022, accusations came out from former employees that his Patriot show was a toxic work environment for women of color. Those accusations are not well known, but will resurface in more detail if he gets the job. Insight number 3, TikTok is the key growth channel for The Daily Show. Over the first 13 weeks of guest hosts, The Daily Show had 3 Monday through Friday weeks when they generated at least 91,000 new followers on social media. In each of those instances, it was because a segment with the guest host went viral on TikTok. For example, the best performing piece of content from The Daily Show so far this year was a TikTok clip of John Leguizamo eviscerating Tennessee Representative Tim Burkett for saying nothing can be done to stop gun violence against children. Other clips that went viral on TikTok include Minhaj and correspondent Ronnie Chang debating on what Asians should talk about on the show, and Chelsea Handler mocking Marjorie Taylor Greene for hating her job. Since social media as opposed to linear television is how many people view talk show clips now, and TikTok is the channel with the most growth potential, it's essential that The Daily Show pick a host that grows the show's TikTok audience. Insight number 4. Having a big following on social has little correlation to Daily Show clips going viral. While social media is a huge part of how talk shows are experienced, at this point having a huge pre-existing following does not inherently mean that a following is active or that it will translate to interest in their Daily Show clips. For example, despite Marlon Wayans having 20 million followers on social media, Daily Show posts featuring Minhaj average nearly 200% more engagements than posts featuring Wayans. Insight number 5, guest hosting gives you a huge lift on social. The work week they're on, guest hosts on average get 14.6 thousand new followers on their own social media accounts. That's a 333% increase in new followers compared to the previous work week. Other than Marlon Wayans, every single guest host got an increase in new followers for the week they hosted. Even for guest hosts who aren't competing for the full-time job, the gig is raising their profile on social media. Conclusion, what money tells us about who will get The Daily Show. We've already established, based on ratings and social media performance, the guest hosts that should be offered the permanent gig. Now I'm going to explain why most likely none of those names will get an offer. Trevor Noah's run on The Daily Show was viewed as a success, but that was a success relative to the incredibly shrinking expectations. He had tangible accomplishments. For example, by 2022, average engagements on The Daily Show social media posts had increased by 204% compared to his first year in 2015. However, TV ratings for The Daily Show had decreased by 65% from 2015 when Trevor Noah first took over. This is part of the larger industry trend where, because of streaming and evolving audience habits, people just don't watch talk shows on linear TV anymore. For example, in a recent Los Angeles Magazine article by Brian Stelter, sources explain the unsaid part of why James Corden just left The Late Late Show on CBS. The show cost $60 to $65 million a year to make and was bringing in less than $45 million a year in revenue. For all the viral success of Corden segments like Carpool Karaoke and Skydiving Tom Cruise, CBS would have lost less money if they had just aired a test pattern in the time slot. I don't know for a fact that The Daily Show is losing money, but given what we do know about the long-term direction of the ratings, it's hard to visualize Comedy Central paying what it would take to sign a big name like John Leguizamo or Chelsea Handler as the new host. Most likely, Comedy Central is going to continue bringing in bigger name guest hosts through the fall, and when they finally do announce Trevor Noah's permanent replacement, it's going to be one of The Daily Show's extremely capable and considerably less expensive current correspondents.